Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another wonderful episode of the Diaspora Entrepreneurs Podcast. Today, we have an amazing lady, a beautiful lady in the house, and she's been busy. She's a high performer. Her name, no, before I go into her name, let me just give you a little bit about her bio. See, she's from Uganda and France. She's French. Again, I'm across the pond. So now I'm in France right now again, speaking to this lovely lady. Yeah, in the last 5 years, she has been a management consultant in firms in multinationals like Airbnb, Atos. At 25, she created her first company. At 28, she created the second one. She's the founder of Help and Home Strategy Consultant. Let me not waste your time. Welcome, Miss, I don't know, but Miss Victoria Trochoux. Hi, Victoria.
Hello. That was a nice presentation.
Yeah, it seems that we lost your face here.
Oh, how
Oh,
come?
yes. Okay.
Sorry.
Yes,
Sorry.
technology, they act up sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hello. Thank you for the presentation, Victor.
Yeah. How are you today?
I'm doing okay. The weather is not there, but we're going to bring the smile and the sun into people's life with this podcast.
Yes, let's bring sunshine to the homes with our stories. Yeah, we are diasporans and we are winners. You're from Uganda. Can you just tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about yourself? How did you find yourself is it Bordeaux?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, great. How do you find yourself in the Bordeaux region and you're from Uganda?
Uh, sometimes life brings you to somewhere you never thought. I was born in Uganda, and at the age of 4, my parents decided to move to France. And this is how I arrived in Paris. I've stayed there with my parents for several years. And I've been moving for studies and whatever, but I've fell in love with Bordeaux because Bordeaux, there is wine, there is sunshine, people are nice, and this city actually was me, so that's why I came in Bordeaux. That's simply also for my studies too, but I enjoyed the life there too.
Oh, great. It seems because I spoke to a lady from Bordeaux, which was my last episode, about the wine. Funny that you mentioned wine. She's a great wine enthusiast and she's an expert. So, but let's talk about you. You started your first company at
Yeah,
25. I said,
yeah.
why?
So okay. Um, like I said, my parents were entrepreneurs already. They had their own companies, and when I started, I wanted to work with them and to take back the company. But I realized afterwards that this is not really what I wanted. So I started doing management consultancy because what I love the most is to help businesses to understand what their issues and how we can solve those problems. So slowly I understood that it was really hard to make a company, but sometimes when you're young like me and you're a consultant, it's not always easy to show to the client who's older, to give them your opinion, and so that the client understand and take into account what you're saying. So I said, okay, there are plenty things to do in France and many issues to solve. So I really wanted to be independent because this is my character also. And I said, why not try my luck like everyone else? And since I had my parents who were a good example, I could just follow the path. Nothing. That's why I I created my own company at the age of 25.
Yeah, when we're discussing, you mentioned so you went to business school as well. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. When I finished high school, I was underage. I was 17 in France. So the law is allowing you at 18 to live your life, to go abroad and to do whatever you want. So since I was 17, my dad, who loved me so much, told me, my daughter, you won't go anywhere else, you stay nearby us. So I find a business school in Tours. Tours is in the center of France, where you have a lot of castles, all the history of a lot of history in France. So I studied there for 3 years, and I had the opportunity to be in a business school, which offered you for the third year the chance to study abroad. So I've checked everywhere, and I didn't want to be too much far from my parents because family is still important, especially at that age.
Yep.
So I said, let me go to England. England is not far. They have good schools, and I can still study, improve my English, and meet new people. So this was a good alternative. And that's why I went to UK. And I've been studying in Chelmsford, in Essex. And I really loved this experience. It was just amazing. And I loved England so much. I really wanted to stay even at that point. So
Yeah. You know, now, you see, you when I was doing some research about you, I saw a word that I've not seen before, which was renter tourism. I was like, what? We still have so much to learn. What is renter tourism? Because that's one of your company. What is renter tourism?
okay, rental tourism is when you are an investor or landlord and you're buying a house and you want to rent it for on Airbnb or HomeAway on those platforms to make sure that your investment is still interesting for you. Because when you're not living in the house or no one is living in it, even if it doesn't really cost you a lot of money, you're still losing money because or you have a credit to pay back, or you have, I don't know, your family borrowed you money, or it's your personal money, just it. So even if there's no one in it, there's this business going on really well in the south of France, which is called rental tourism. And you rent it to strangers, to people who wants to have some holidays, some a weekend, a week, or maybe 2 weeks, and they spend the time in your flat and they pay you back. And this is a really good business, also developing a lot, even if COVID came by and it's not the same anymore. But things are coming back slowly.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about COVID. How does COVID? How do you manage? What was the mindset for you to like go through COVID and still be there?
Listen, COVID is like impacting everyone, and I'm not the only one. But I know that I live in a region where it attracts a lot of people, tourism. I used to live in Arcachon, Bassin d'Arcachon. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you heard of Cap Ferret. Cap Ferret is a really nice place, like nature. There's the sea. You have one of the biggest sand dune in Europe. This is the place where you can find those. And in this area, people love to leave big cities like Bordeaux and to come spend some few days on the seaside. So actually for us, it was not easy, but we had some clients still coming back. So at least we had a lot of opportunities during COVID. And when it was the lockdown, we were just like everybody else. We had to close our business for some time. But what is interesting in my business is that even I have like a VIP concierge services, and I'm not only working for rental tourism. I used to do it. But what is the most interesting for us is to help clients from abroad, because we're working a lot also with Nigerian people who come to France and who wants to spend their holidays, family gathering, and also having some good time with their friends. They come, they rent a villa, and we manage the all the good vibes, all the good stuff that can make sure that your holidays are the best. This is our goal. VIP concierge services is really to help you enjoy your moment, because when you're in a holiday, you have to think about the taxi, about the transport, about the house, about the staff, so many things. But if you're asking a real expert like Open Home, my company, actually you just say, I want this, 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 and the company does that all for you. You just have to enjoy.
Hmm. You just have to enjoy. I like that. I like that. So it's kind of a tailor-made services that you provide.
Exactly. For example, like last year before COVID, we had some people coming from Nigeria, from US and UK, who wanted to gather in a big villa in Arcachon. So what my job was, looking for the house. We found a beautiful house on the beach, directly on the beach. We managed the transport, like taxi and everything. We managed to have 2 dinners into the house with the staff, like a chef, like a sommelier, like also the person serving the plates. Everything was organized so that people could enjoy, and they did enjoy it. So those are the most grateful things for me when I see my clients happy and enjoying their moment and say, oh my God, if I did that by my own, I don't think I would have handled it. And I won't think that I would have such qualitative services. So this is my pleasure.
Hmm. So because during COVID, many businesses, like you said, you're right, they went under, and they're still trying to find their feet back, even as COVID begins to reside or being under control now. People are still business owners are still find themselves to like climb out of the dish. But it seems you've managed. Let's talk about your what was going up here during that time.
To be honest, it was not easy because I lost my dad last year during COVID, and it was a really, really hard time. But, as I told you, my parents were entrepreneurs. And what my father told me is if you believe in something, if you want something, you have to put up back your sleeves and go for
Yes.
it. You
Okay.
have to go for it, because if you don't start, nothing will happen. So grieving is not easy, especially at that age, even though you had some other experiences. But you have to face down also what you're going through. And it's really important, because sometimes you think you're a superhero, you say, I'm going to go for it. It's okay, yeah. But you have to cry sometimes. You have to sit down and feel what you're feeling. And from the moment I did that, I understood that even though it was hard, I was able to do many things because I wanted it. So I changed my mindset. I say, girl, if you want something to move, even there is COVID, you have to adapt, you have to change, you have to be flexible. Being an entrepreneur needs you to be flexible. Otherwise, you won't survive, because other people will be more flexible. So it's a mindset to have, but you have to be strong and have faith in what you have and what you're doing. Because if no one's believing in you, you're going to be down. So you have first to believe in yourself, to take the 7 steps to go towards what you really want. Don't really listen to others, because you'll hear everything. You'll hear, oh, that's great, you're doing a wonderful job. And you'll hear, oh, this is not going to work. I'm sorry, girl, this is not going to work. So be in your head, be focused on your target. It's like sprinting. When you run, you have to go to the last line and you go for it. So for that, you have to start running. You have to stand up. You have to be in the mood also. So every day is like a challenge. You have to give you everyday challenge. Okay, today I'm going to do this. And at the end, you'll cross the line without even thinking it. So yeah, mindset is something we should work on. Self-development at any age is really, really important. To read books, to listen to podcasts, to have mentors, because I am really lucky you were talking about a lady in Bordeaux. I know who she is, and she's my mentor. And thanks to her and to the people surrounding her, I think I was able to be in that mood and to go after what I want. So surround yourself of good people. Surround yourself of good people.
Wow, that's great. My condolence towards your family for the loss of your superhero. Yeah. So, uh, how do you pick yourself up from those kind of situation? It's it is tough to pick yourself up and start running and get your mind right. It is difficult, and given the current situation at that time of COVID, and man, my condolence to your family. You
Thank you.
guys, you guys are wonderful. You guys are strong. Yeah. So you managed to come out of this. What did you learn? What have you learned about yourself?
Oh, I learned that I was human and that I had feelings. Um, I have this character where since I was little, like I told you, I was born in Uganda. At the age of 4, I had to come to France, but I didn't speak a word of French. So when my parents took me to school, I was the only kid speaking English. So I had to be tough and to go and learn and to show that I was able to be at the same level as other kids, even though I was not speaking French. So during all these years, I had to fight and to show that I was, I'm a Black girl into a white word. And I'm going to show those people that they're wrong. I'm going to succeed. I'm going to be what I want. But COVID has impacted so many people. And again, I'm not complaining about myself. I know that I'm kind of those lucky people, really, even though I had some struggles, like everyone. But COVID had taught us that we had feeling, that the word doesn't work when in an environment. But around this environment, there's the core, the center. And the center is you. So you have to focus on you, to know who you are, to work on yourself, on your flows, to be a better person. And during lockdown, when you couldn't go out, there was nothing you could do. So you can tell me, yeah, there's Instagram, there's Facebook. Yeah. But again, you're not focused on you. And at the end of the day, what did you learn? What did you really learn? So the several lockdowns we had in France and maybe other countries is that I hope each of one who's listening had learned something about themselves. And for me, I learned that I was human, that I had feelings, that sometimes it was not okay, despite I was showing a big smile, despite the fact that I was disturbing my nieces, like, and they were saying, Auntie, stop. But at the end, I was crying because I'm human. And when you understand all the feelings that you're expressing into yourself, the conscious part and the unconscious part, you can better set goals afterwards. You said, okay, I'm going to give that time for myself. I'm going to go after what I want at this time, etc., etc. So this is what I learned.
In an all-white school, and you're coming from a different environment, like yourself coming from Uganda, they would just like shut down.
Mm.
So how did you manage this?
It was not easy, but it depends of each one and each character things too. Just to tell you more about my story, like I said, I was born in Uganda. At the age of 4, my parents we moved to France. And my mom was always behind me and telling me, you can do it. You really can do it. And it's not going to be easy, but I'm there and you're going to go for what you want. So they've put me into private schools, and I was the only Black girl all the time. And at some point, I was like, it's hard. It's hard because you face some not nice attitude from people, because maybe they think they're a threat, maybe they don't like you for many things. You can't know why, and you cannot blame those people, because if you have this empathy, you understand sometimes the parents told them that they saw that on TV, or they're just afraid or ignorant. So you cannot change everything around you, but what you can do is to prove them wrong. And this is what my mom told me. And the fact that she has put in me into sport really early at the age of 7, like my family is really, really known into the sport world in Uganda. She told me, you're going to do sport. And she was so right. Because I chose a sport which was even harder, like tennis, because you're playing alone. You're playing alone a game that counts 2 sets or 3 sets, and you have to be strong all way long. Because if you lose 1 point, sometimes you're just obliged to do 1 set to survive, just to be sure that you're winning the game. So this sport also taught me that, girl, you have to go for what you want. And since you're alone, you have no choice. So all the adversary kills you, so you lose the game, or you make everything and people remember you. So from the age of 7 till 16, I was really, really good at tennis. And sometimes I could go in some villages and they'd say, oh, you're the Black girl who's playing really nicely tennis. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Thank you. But I was not doing that for anyone else. I was doing that for me. And also to make sure that my mom sees that she taught me well. She taught me well, and she told me, you're going to survive here because this is your chance. And I'm pretty happy with that. Really. Yeah, it's true. She gave me so beautiful values. And even though I was talking about my father, without my mom, without that example, without my mentor, she's my mentor anyway, I don't think I would have been where I am. Because it's like you're sometimes lost as a kid. You're facing so much struggles at school, in your life. You feel alone, especially if you're in a white world. But white, black, yellow, anything, it doesn't matter. It's still about you and what you can prove to yourself. Make sure that your family is okay and happy about the person that you're becoming. But also, what I realized is that by knowing yourself better, you can also see your environment on a different way.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean is that when you're hiding your feelings and you're feeling sad deep inside, sometimes you don't see opportunities around you. But when you are in a good state of mind, you're positive, you feel much better about yourself, you know who you are, you know where you want to go, you feel more secure. You cannot be perfect, is not what I'm saying. But when you feel a little bit better with yourself, you're more open to the world, more open to connections, more open to network. And this is how opportunity comes. And yeah, learn that you are the center, but you're living in an environment. And if you're living in an environment, you need to attract positive vibes. But to attract that, you have to be positive too, and to feel much better about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I've been meaning to ask this question. I don't know if it keeps. Do you think COVID has um, leveled the playing field in business right now? That people no
Can you
longer.
repeat it, please?
I said, do you think COVID has leveled the playing field? So some barriers that were there, COVID has taken them down. So there's more opportunities to reach out to more clients now because they're kind of online. What do you think about that?
Mm, yeah, it's an interesting question. It has changed a lot of things, true. Um, I think indeed that COVID helped more businesses to target more clients. But for that, again, it was really important for entrepreneurs to adapt and adjust themselves to the situation. Some couldn't because you need some resources. And if you don't have the right resources, you can't actually go for what you want. But for some others who were more comfortable in what they were doing, it is true. You had just to adapt. You had to adapt your situation. You had to adapt your tools to your clients and make sure your products or your services reach the right persons. Because we were mostly online, we were almost all at home. We, because of the lockdown, we couldn't go far. For example, I have a friend of mine who is was a consultant at Alstom in a big company, a train company, and he's painting. But how do you sell your painting if you're at home? You can do Instagram, yeah. But painting is not only about feeling; it's about also visualizing the texture of the board, everything. And he told me what I did is that there are several shops who are closed, but I've asked restaurants, bars who were agreeing to just show my paintings on their walls into the vitrine. And I said, that's a great idea. So when people were going to the grocery shop, they could see those paintings. So I found it really clever, and I find it, he was adapting to the situation, even though it was not easy for him. He said, this is the only way everyone can know each other during the lockdown, but also to promote my art and make sure that people see the different materials that I'm using and colors. Because taking a picture is nice, but it removes a big part of the product, the soul, because when you paint, you put your soul, you put everything in it, colors, magic, sadness, everything. And if you're
Everything
not in
goes in.
front of it, yeah. So this is a great example of it. So you have to always be flexible, like I said at the beginning, because if you don't do it, someone else will do it at your place.
Absolutely, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah. And one more thing before we just round up this conversation. What is the big vision? What is the big vision for you? 5, 10 years?
Oh, I didn't think of that. Um, I want to be, first of all, for me, the best person I could be for myself. Surround myself with the interesting people just like you. We've talked, we've laughed, we've shared few conversation and learning new people, because this is how we open our minds. Secondly, in 5, 10 years, I would love to see someone that I follow, like a mentee, because I'm a mentee already. I would like later on to be able to help others who really needs it. Because, you know, uh, there's something I always try to remember. It's not because I'm in France that I'm a really lucky girl. I'm always trying to remember myself. Okay, I come from Uganda. Don't forget that. And this reminds me that I need also to help my people, to help people who needs my help. And it's not only about Uganda, but anyone who wants to go after what they want and just need some advice. I will be really, really happy in 5, 10 years to be that mentor that I already have today, like helping others and giving them good advice and making sure that I can comfort them when they're not doing good.
Great. You know where. Let me just remind you something that you may be looking at. You may be looking at it from a very small angle because it's you that's living it. You you may not be aware of some of your greatness that you already have. So you're trying to play it small. Oh, in 10 years time, in 5 years time, I look forward to having a mentee. Where you are right now is so great mentally. You've passed through you've passed through a world changing event and you adapted. That takes serious strength. And on top of that, you lost your dad. That is that is a superwoman there. So many people can learn from you right now because you've started, you've management consulting, you've started 2 companies, you've experienced so many things that, phew, let me say 50, 60% of this world has not experienced. You get, so you've done a lot in your life and in your business. You are independent with the word independent. You have clients coming all over from Europe, America, Africa. You give them good experiences. I don't think you need to wait 10, 5 years from now to start. If someone can come to you today and you can actually comfort them and tell them, oh, I passed through the worst recession in modern history, the worst pandemic in modern history, and look at me, I'm still here smiling. So you know the words to use for them, and it will come natural. So do not wait for 5, 10 years time. You can you can do that right now. So if they want to get in touch with you on social media, how would they? Or how do people get in touch with you?
They can simply contact me through LinkedIn. I'll send you my LinkedIn so that everyone will be able to contact me on LinkedIn. It's easy. You send me a text and we can chat. We can learn about a lot of each other. So and also networking. I also learned that from COVID, and my mentor also is that networking on LinkedIn is really important for your business, even though you're not yet sure about what you're looking for. But LinkedIn is a really great network to have ideas,
Mhm.
to to learn from others, to understand some subject that you never thought of, and to get in touch like you with Victor.
Yeah, to get in touch with you, Victoria.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, get in touch with Victoria. She's so modest. We'll get in touch with Victoria on LinkedIn. Just type in the word Victoria Trochoux. How do you spell the Trochoux for those who don't understand? I'm doing some Jamasequa now, so if you don't understand my French,
ooh
so
la
just
la.
ooh la la. French for you. How do you
So
spell? How do you spell Victoria Trochoux?
Trochoux, Trochoux, Trochoux.
Ah, that's some French. That's some French. Some exclusive and exquisite pronunciation for you there. Oh no, it is. You're one of those people I could like just keep on talking to and keep talking to because I
That's
think,
nice. Thank
yeah,
you.
I think the chemistry and the vibe, the mindset of never going to give up is there with you. So I really appreciate you, Victoria, for
Thank you.
the afternoon on the Diaspora Entrepreneurs podcast. And also, if you're watching us right now, please do not forget to subscribe. to press the like button, maybe leave a comment, or just tell us what you think, and get in touch with Victoria on LinkedIn. And and if um you have time, share. Don't forget, keep sharing. All right, Victoria, thank you very much for your time
Thank you
today.
for your time, Victor.
I am really grateful for having you, and this is the
Okay.
type of conversation that I look forward to. And we're sharing more diasporan experiences, more diasporan victories, more diasporan wins, successes. And I wish you all the best, sincerely. And
Thank you.
yeah, whatever
I
you do.
wish you a I wish you're gonna come in France because my company is waiting for you and your friends to enjoy Bordeaux and
Oh,
Arcachon.
okay. Tell me just okay before we just dash out. What kind of packages do you have, or do you have a website that they can just like we can go check out
Yes,
and see your
I
package?
have my website, three dots, three double V dot help and home, HELPANDHOME .fr, sorry. It's help and home. So Victor will put everything down into
Yeah.
in description,
Mhm.
but you can find it. Sorry, it's in French, but I would love you to speak some French with me too.
Yeah.
No, anyway, despite jokes, I speak English. So if you contact us directly by email, it will be easier. You just write whatever you want. For the packages, it's kind of easy. Like we are very pick concierge services. So if you want to have some enjoying your time in France and you want to organize some holidays or whatever with your friends, family, you just contact us, you tell us what is your budget, and we make sure to calculate everything so that everything that you'll be paying will be included and you won't need to think about I have to take the taxi, I have to take the hotel, the blah blah, and the chef. So everything will find a way to respond to all your needs. But also on the other part, we are also an event planner, which means that we are organizing in castles in Bordeaux, into the vineyards, also some events. It could be weddings, it can be anniversary, it can be seminars. So, for example, this weekend we're shooting out a nice wedding at a chateau in Bordeaux, and we are promoting also the wines and spirits there. So, you know, from our connection in Bordeaux and in the region, you can really have good activities and because we know people. So do not hesitate to contact us because planning a wedding or planning an anniversary in the region can be way fun. It can be really, really fun.
Yeah.
So
Looking forward to that. You provide helicopters or what's it called? Not all helicopters, help hot air balloons, those kind
we
of
can
stuff.
do that. We can do
Okay.
that. We know people who do that. For example, in my region, in Arcachon, there are a lot of people who did like plane just above the sea and above the sand dune. You have also helicopters, of course. You have also balloon if you want, but it's a different air region. But
Hmm.
everything is possible. We just have to contact us and to let us know what is your budget because depending on the budget is not always the same activities, but
Hmm.
of course you know that.
Yeah. I like that word. Everything is possible. Yeah. Everything is possible. Yeah. On that note, I would say thank you, and I sincerely hope you have a nice day.
Thank you, you too, Victor.
I speak to you
Thank you for
soon.
your time.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye bye.